Hey, how's it going? Eric Bear here again, putting together a cool creation. So what I did was, I've got rutabaga. You know what rutabaga looks like? It's like a big thing in the store. Just go check out a rutabaga. So this is pretty tough vegetable. I think it's a vegetable anyway. And you see how thinly I sliced that? Look at it. Actually, it looks pretty thick right there, but it's pretty thin. So like rutabaga chips, that's what I did. So I'm just going to put these in the what do you call this thing again? The skillet. There you go. Put it in the skillet. And we've got that going. And so I just put some beer in here is what I did. I decided I'm going to saute this in some beer. And it'd be nice if I had a lid that was like big enough for this, but I don't. So there you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that steam, and actually I think I do have a lid. There you go. That'll work. So I just want to let that steam and get in there and infuse. So now what I'm going to do while that's going on, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm going to slice up this. You know what that is? Check it out. It's a sweet potato. So I'm going to have this rutabaga and sweet potato. And this is going to be awesome. And I'm going to do this too. Thinly slice the sweet potatoes. And then I'm going to toss them in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this together with some grilled pork chops. Okay? So you remember that YouTube doesn't let you like have like a long protracted thing, so I'll have to show you how to do pork chops a different time. But I like sweet potatoes. Actually, I want to have more sweet potatoes than I do rutabagas. You want to know why? Because I like sweet potatoes. That's why. So look at that. Isn't it cool? You got these little sweet potato chips, kind of. And so we're going to just saute these in with this beer. So you're going to have that going. This is looking good already. Actually, I'm going to flip each one of these. Do a little flippy. These do take a little bit, these rutabagas. That's why I did it so thin, so that hopefully they'll cook a little faster. But it's a good vegetable, you know? It's a good vegetable. So actually I'm going to let that steam for a little bit more, just power steam. And I'm going to put a little bit more beer in there. Beer sure smells good when it's cooking. It's pretty funny. Just that beer evaporation smell. It's evaporating into the hemisphere, into the atmosphere in the hemisphere that you live in, wherever that may be, southern hemisphere or northern hemisphere, or the western or eastern. Or you might be right on the cusp of all of them. Then what do? I don't know. Are you north, south, east, or west hemisphere? Something that you can only decide. It's a tough decision, but you have to figure it out for yourself. Which hemisphere you're actually in. Okay, so these are cooking, and what I'm going to do with the pork chops is I'm going to have this cooked first. Why? Because the meat gets too done, or it gets cold, or something like that. So you always do your veggies and whatever else you've got going first. That's the first thing you do. Okay. And then you go from there. Now on the pork chops, I'm gonna put barbecue sauce on them, and then I'm going to put tomatoes on top, and I'm going to put the tomatoes on after like it's all done cooking, you know what I mean? Just like the final turn, that's when I'll prep it with that, and then I'll put the barbecue sauce on top. So I just want to have some like kind of stewed tomatoes, kind of grillish tomatoes, that type of thing, just infusing with the pork chops. Yeah, that's what I think I'll do. So it should be a good recipe, and it's quick, it's easy. It's well, the rutabagas do take a little bit of time. Obviously, we're kind of talking through this a little bit, but they do take a little bit of time. They're getting better right now. They're getting better. Okay, now remember what I said about vegetables? When you can stick them with a fork and it goes in easily, what does that mean? That means they're getting done. You know what I'm saying? That means they're getting close to where you can enjoy them. You can put them on your plate and munch on them for lunch. You can munch for lunch. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and put on these things. Okay? The sweet potatoes. Okay? I'm just going to kind of put them around wherever on this. I'll show you in a second what I'm doing. Okay. Sorry. Alrighty. Can you see that okay? There you go. That's what I did. The rutabagas obviously are on the bottom. Sweet potatoes are on top. So, and I'm just letting that saute right in that beer. So this is going to take probably, I'm going to say probably another five minutes or so. I'm going to wait for it to kind of get where they're almost done, and then I'm going to kill the heat and then just let them sit there, and then that's when I'm going to go out and do my grilling, because you know the grill, I've already got the grill started. It's not going to take long to do this to the pork chops at all. Okay, so that's it. That's just that simple. Think you can do this? I think you can. So just keep sticking the fork in there, just like what I did, turning these around, and that's as simple as it gets, or that's as hard as it gets, rather. That's it. Oh, the sweet potatoes are already cooking. They're already, yep, they're already there almost. That is wild. I didn't think sweet potatoes would cook that quickly somehow. They are. But I did these really thin too. So that, again, that was the thing there. That kind of helped out. Okay, so cook that, keep it cooking, and then you stick your fork in it to make sure it's done. So that dish is done. Now, much like I showed you, what I would do is I would stagger that. Do a rutabaga, sweet potato, rutabaga, sweet potato, just kind of staggered up like you would a deck of cards. You know how the dealers like fan it out? So that's what I would do. I'd put a rutabaga, sweet potato, and just like that, you'll just stagger it up just like that, kind of like just what I'm doing with my hands. And then it makes for a nice presentation there. You can even throw a slice of fresh tomato on top to kind of trim that out. And then you've got those different colors. You got the tan and the rutabaga, or you know what, I'm not that great at colors, but anyway, you got the color of the rutabaga. I think it might be tan. Orange in the looks orange to me anyway. The sweet potato, and then you got the red there. So just add some color to the plate, and then of course you've got the tomatoes with the barbecue sauce and the fresh cracked pepper on that. I hope you see what I'm saying. I'll show you in the next film, but for this one I've got to close this out. So this gives you a good idea on a side, and we'll talk to you real soon. I'll show you how to do the grill and put all that stuff together. All right. Have a great day.